And they will turn aside from hearing the truth and wander off into myths and man-made fiction. Verse 5, but as for you, now he's talking to Timothy, who's a preacher of the word. As for you, be calm and cool and steady. And suffer unflinchingly every hardship. Do the work of an evangelist, fully perform all the duties of your ministry. Now, here it really gets good. Verse 6, Paul says, for I am already about to be sacrificed. My life is about to be poured out as a drink offering. The time of my spirit's release from the body is at hand, and I will soon be free. Well, I'm more excited about that than you are, I think. But, I mean, I get what he's saying. He's saying, look, being here in this earth, in the times we're living in, and trying to serve God in this fleshly body, it is not always easy. It's not always comfortable. It doesn't always feel good. But boy, the day is going to come when our job here will be done, and we'll get a release from this body, and we will be totally and completely free. And can I tell you something? That's when life begins. With me this morning. You're not going to be here forever. Use the time you have now to get ready for your real life. Your real life starts the day you leave this earth, get out of this body, and get right into the presence of God. Now, life here is great. I'm enjoying my life. But we act sometimes like this is all we've got. Do we believe in eternity or not? Do we really believe that God is preparing a home for us? A mansion? Woo! I'm excited about mine. I don't know about you. Ephesians 4:14, Paul says, so then we may no longer be children, tossed like ships to and fro between chance gusts of teaching and wavering with every changing wind of doctrine. I get so tired of watching people, immature people, baby Christians, chase after every new little doctrinal thing that comes up and down the road. God told me a long time ago, you keep your nose to the grindstone, you do what I've called you to do, and you'll be around a long time after a lot of other people have bit the dust and gone by the wayside. The only thing that's going to last and endure forever is this right here. Amen? You know, I can't resist telling this a little bit, and I don't think Charles will mind. You won't mind if I tell a little story about you, will you? Charles Neiman, a wonderful pastor from El Paso, and good friends of Pastor Tommy, and I'm sure he's probably preached at the church here. His beautiful, lovely wife died with cancer 2 or 3 years ago, and he said some things that really, really touched my heart. He said, when she died, now I want you to listen to this. When she died, and they had believed and prayed, all the things that we do, and it didn't happen the way they wanted it to happen. She was a lovely lady. Who could make any sense out of that? Her first grandchild was about to be born. And you know, we can get in an attitude, well, after all the years we've served God, and this is what we get. Boy, you got to avoid that kind of stuff. Don't even, I mean, if you start to go there, run from it like the plague. Let me tell you something, getting mad at God is ridiculous. He's all we've got. I mean, what do we have if we're going to be mad at God? And he said the first thing that he said to God, and I want you to get this, he said the first thing he said to God when his wife passed away was, God, please help me do this right. In other words, help me represent you well in this terrible, tragic thing that has happened. Can I tell you something? We're not worth our salt if the only time we can be happy is when we're getting everything our way. Amen? And I love that. You know, to me, there's depth in that statement. It was more important to him to represent God right than it even was to get his own way. Well, you're a little quiet, but that's okay. don't be a shallow Christian. Let's have depth. We need depth. You know, years ago, there used to be a movement called the Deeper Life movement. And they sold books on crucifying the flesh, dying to self. One of the most moving books that I ever read was by Watchman Nee called Dying to Self. I would love to write a big book called Dying to Self. I probably wouldn't sell too many of them, but you know, I've written 120 books and most of them have been, you know, somewhat successful. Some of them have been real successful. But a book that I wrote that I think is absolutely amazing, that sold the worst of any book I've ever written, was on walking in love.